Hello and welcome to National Focus for Tuesday, September 3, 2024. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, schools challenged to pursue CXC and CAPE exams simultaneously. Jays Limited donates $20,000 to the Education Trust Fund, and college students inspired by gold medalist Thea Lafont-Gatson. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
Ride safe, wear a helmet, safer roads in the nature aisle. This message was brought to you by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Welcome back. Dominica recorded history in the 2024 CAPE examination results this year. Males scored more grade 1s this year, while females dominated grades 2 to grades 5. One particular student, Ajanaya Kazimi, has successfully attempted what up until now has not been done in the regional examinations by any other student.
Generally, candidates do CAPE after CSEC. But this year, for the first time in Dominica, one high school candidate sat 9 CSEC subjects and 4 CAPE units simultaneously in 2024. This is also the first occurrence in the region where the candidate captured all grade 1s at both sets of exams. Mr. Ajanaya Kazimi, a student of SMA, has made double history while actively participating in cycling competitions across the world.
The CXC registrar believes based on those results, it's time to aim higher.
Madam Minister, Ajanaya's bold move proves that we need to consider CAPE studies more seriously in Dominica. I am pleased with the fact that CAPE subjects are now being offered at the Dominica State College, and I am calling for greater support of the CAPE programs at the Dominica State College, at the Academic School of Learning, and at the Business Training Center to boost their CAPE programs and to provide windows of opportunities for our youths.
She issued a challenge to parents and stressed the importance of sports in the learning process.
Principals, Ajanaya's bold move proves that you too can run CAPE programs along your CSEC curriculum, and you can encourage bright and disciplined students to take subjects like CSEC additional mathematics and CAPE units that will advance them in their career paths. Parents, Ajanaya's bold move proves that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Sports add balance to life. Ajani, continue to make yourself and your family proud, and Dominica by extension. Your outstanding work will definitely be recognized at the 2024 National Youth Rally, because you have also met the ranking criteria by capturing a minimum of 8 grade 1s, including a modern language. You have great potential, and the sky is your limit. I wish you the very best in your educational pursuits.
Proprietor of Jays Limited, John Lewis, has made a $20,000 donation to the Education Trust Fund. Jays Limited has been supporting the Education Trust Fund for over 40 years. This donation of $20,000 annually has been given since 2015.
We've been supporting the Education Trust Fund from inception. And I believe if my memory serves me right, this goes back to 1980, 81, when the Freedom Party took office. And it was a noble innovation, and we thought that it was something that we could support. At the time, our contribution was $50, because that is what we could afford. But as God continued to bless us, our contribution continued to increase and to increase and to increase.
Mr. Lewis believes education, which in his view goes beyond a certificate, is so important that no amount of money is too much to invest in it.
I mentioned to someone recently that we were making this contribution, and I mentioned the amount to her. And she said, you know, that's a lot of money. I said, well, money spent on education can never be too much. Because we believe that an educated population is the only way forward for any country. And when I say education, I do not mean a certificate. And I was happy to hear the minister made mention of some of the things that I've been thinking about to make a whole person, right? To send that person out into a world which is becoming increasingly difficult for young people. And I want to applaud the Ministry of Education as you continue to chart a way forward for our young people.
Minister for Education, the Honorable Octavia Alfred, said the contribution made by Jays Limited is in part responsible for students' achievement at the regional exams.
We want to thank them for Jays Limited for this contribution to the Education Trust Fund. To meet our mandate to ensure that every child succeeds is a mammoth task, and we always welcome support, any kind of support from resource people, from private sector, from corporate citizen, from organization, and we are happy that a local organization has never failed us. So we are glad that this is happening here today. So as we celebrate the success of our students, I invite Jays Limited to join this celebration because you had a part to play in that.
The Trust Fund provides much-needed assistance to secondary school students whose families find it difficult to meet school-related expenses.
It joins the uniform program, the uniform grant, the school feeding program, the transportation program for primary and secondary students, the textbook programs, the scholarship and financial assistance, payment of CCSLC and CSEC subjects, and also the school transfer grants.
The government of Dominica itself has been doing its part in supporting the Education Trust Fund.
Every year, the government provides a subvention to the Trust Fund to help continue this program. This subvention is not always enough, so the Trust Fund seeks other means of fundraising. One of those is the dollar day, which we usually have at the school, the Education Trust Fund dollar day. So when you go to school, even though some of you are leaving school and going to college, you may have your part-time job just for $1 somewhere in a jar. That will help. And we also get assistance from international, regional, and local organizations, businesses, and clubs.
Minister of State with Special Responsibility for Seniors, Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams, says all elders are our guides and mentors. The minister was speaking at the launch of the Month of the Elderly on Monday at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium conference room.
This month and every month, it is essential that we reflect on the role that elderly individuals play in our lives. They have been our guides, mentors, and cherished companions. As we honor them, let us also acknowledge the challenges that many older persons face. From health concerns to isolation and neglect, aging can present difficulties that are not always visible.
Miss Iona Nicholas of Mero is 100 years today. Dominica now boasts 11 centenarians. The minister used the time to celebrate them.
Our tiny island with such a small population can boast 11 centenarians. I use this time to celebrate them in particular and acknowledge the efforts of their loved ones and caretakers. And while I'm at it, I want to say happy birthday in advance to Mrs. Iona Nicholas of Mero, who will be 100 years strong tomorrow. And also to Miss Josephine Pascal of Grandfond, who will celebrate on September 10. This month and moving forward, let us commit to celebrating their contributions, promoting inclusivity, advocating for their needs, showing compassion and respect, and fostering connections.
A number of activities have been planned. Sponsors, to include businesses, have shown tangible and financial support for these activities. President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Nigel Lawrence, says one of the activities for the month will be held on Sunday. It is designated Grandparents' Day.
Sunday, Grandparents' Day, the theme color is orange. The ladies, you can wear a bow, you can wear a tag, you can wear a yellow, an orange shoe, you can wear a skirt. The men, you have a handkerchief, a head tie, a cap. But let us make sure on that day, everybody wear something orange. And I want to take time off to congratulate and to commend the Paybush Village Council. Paybush Village Council, on that day, they are going to host a big affair for grandparents.
The month of the elderly will end October 1, the International Day of Older Persons. Officer in charge at the Dominica State College, Ms. Trudy Christian, views Olympic gold medalist Thea Lafont-Gadsden's visit to the institution as an opportunity to initiate greater collaboration with outside institutions in the area of sports. During her stay here, the Olympic gold medalist visited a number of communities as well as primary and secondary schools, including the Kalinago Territory and Casa Bruce, as well as the Maho Primary and her alma mater, the Convent Preparatory. Her visit to DSC was her last official visit.
Many times, people from organizations external to Dominica seek out information about the Dominica State College, the programs that we have, the potential for collaborations and expansion into new areas. But today, at this important occasion, it's really a good time to highlight the desire that we have as an institution for stronger networking and collaborative approaches in the area of sports. The talent here is abundant. Our athlete complement represents the combination of the best coming from the secondary school level. So Thea, we hope that this achievement that you have gained, you a true Dominican, and I saw your response to the national anthem, a true Dominican. I really hope that this achievement can inspire the talent that we have at the Dominica State College, inspire the talent to aim for the greatest heights. And we hope that the support and opportunities that our student athletes may be exposed to within our institution only propels them further.
Ms. Christian thanked Thea for sharing her amazing story directly with college students.
In your own words, you inspired many, not just athletes, but all young people with aspirations to achieve something great in life. You encouraged us not to cry, but to do what? To try. It is the start of a new academic year. It is the first day of a new academic year. So DSC students, Thea is here. What will we be doing this academic year? What will we be doing this academic year? Okay, in every aspect of what you came here to do. We'll be trying, right?
Thea Lafont spoke of the drastic change in her life since she won gold close to 1 month ago.
Since then, things have changed. I am now newly appointed ambassador for Dominica, International Sports Ambassador. Of course, I am a little, financially better, thanks to the PM and the government, so big up to them for sure. I've been awarded a few nice privileges, not only for myself, but for my husband, and to my country I thank.
Thea sought to impress on the students the gravity of this moment in their lives as they equip themselves to be the country's future leaders.
Both my parents actually came through here, through State College, and I watched them become prominent members in the community, along many of their peers. You guys are very much so and truly are the most near part of the future of Dominica. You are the next up-and-coming and budding leaders, teachers, ministers, educators, groundbreakers of the nation. And so I preemptively thank you.
She gave some insight into how to balance life as a student athlete.
So what does it mean to be a student athlete? It means that you have two parts of your life that are equally demanding and two parts of your life that will require the best of you. It means that you have people relying on you, both in the classroom and on the field. But it also means that there are aspects that you will take into both parts of life. You'll be asked to do your best. You will be asked to execute. You will be asked to maybe stretch yourself to a level that you weren't even sure you were able to accomplish.
You are watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. The Minister for People Empowerment and Elder Affairs in Barbados, Honorable Cook Humphreys, wants the Caribbean to better represent itself and its concerns at global forums such as the upcoming Ministerial Forum for Development in Latin America and the Caribbean in October. The Honorable Humphreys was among main speakers who addressed a just concluded preparatory meeting in Dominica for the upcoming 16th Development Forum. The forum will focus on resilience in action, social policies to navigate uncertainties in Latin America and the Caribbean.
I remember in 2017, I was not a minister, then I became a minister in 2018. You were in opposition. Those of us in politics know how that goes, right? But I remember the Prime Minister posted on his social media page, he said something to the effect that his house was flooding, his roof was gone. He was at the mercy of the hurricane. And I thought to myself, if that could be the reality for a Prime Minister, then what is the reality for all of us? You know, the regular men and women who exist in this Caribbean region, for whom, as he said when he articulated again so amazingly at the UN conference, that we're on the front line of a war we did not start.
The Honourable Minister says while the world continues its love affair with fossil fuels, vulnerable countries on the front line of climate change continue to struggle for climate financing.
I used to be a minister of blue economy. So this love affair, and to watch us then have to make the most difficult cases to be able to find financing, to be able then to deal with these problems that we never caused, or to have a long conversation around loss and damage, and these conversations. I also remember at one point Dominica, like Barbados, being blacklisted at a time when y'all were still dealing with the hurricane. And I asked myself, like, what is the sensitivity of the world? And I feel that we must use these opportunities to tell that story.
The minister is adamant that the conversation at the upcoming forum should be centered around resilience against the backdrop of natural disasters, which the region is constantly having to deal with.
And I think that this conference presents for us a unique opportunity to be able to have those kinds of conversations and to be critical and to honestly reflect on the things we've done well and the things that we haven't done as well. And I also feel, regrettably, that at many of these meetings that we attend, that there is not enough of a Caribbean presence. And then we lament that our stories are not being told. Well, who's going to tell it? If we don't show up to be present, then how are we going to be recognized? And so you see these articles, Latin America and the Caribbean, and you don't see yourself. Well, you don't see yourself because you're not there. And essentially, we have to be at the meetings. We also have to speak more. And believe me, the Caribbean has to write more. We have to document our stories. They say that until the lion is able to tell the tale of the hunter will get the glory.
He is of the view that Caribbean countries must make a stronger case on the issues of concern to them.
It is regrettable again that this is the case. I see it over and over again. We're not making good enough arguments. I find that the case that we must make for innovative financing is like jumping through hoops. It's very difficult for me. But we continue to do it. Barbados proposed the Bridgetown Initiative. We continue to do it. We continue to try things because we have to. But if we all do it, and if we all do it together, then we can make surely a collective difference as we go forward.
The forum will provide an opportunity for ministers of social development, environment, finance, and other related areas to collectively explore innovative approaches to address inequality, strengthen social safety nets, and promote inclusive economic growth. We now bring you the Creole News highlights with Jenno Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole, non monsieur Jenno Jacob. Consul moun qui en l'âge lancé moi, moun qui en l'âge hier en stade sport Windsor Park. Moi qui couille de 1er septembre pour 1er octobre 2024. Moi c'est honorer et puis protéger droit moun qui en l'âge. Nous parlons et puis mouché Nigel Lawrence, président consulat.
C'est go boutique et magasin, ils viennent ensemble et puis nous pour assister nous pour moi ça là. C'est moi voulais nommer non c'est mon comme National Bank, NBD yo l'a et nous, Jolly's Pharmacy l'a et nous, Issa Trading, Astafan, J. Astafans and Company Limited, also Sagico Insurance. Et c'est mon ça là et puis en l'autre 7 mon 9 yo Massa 6 ça c'est mon sous voulez on a des problèmes pour traverser l'eau malade, ils viennent ensemble et puis ils assistent nous. Et dans chaque les autres organisations, comme l'association NOS, ils viennent ensemble et puis ils mettent la tête et puis nous, pour nous savoir ça nous a fait by peuple là pour moi ça là. Et puis pour moi ça là nous avons chaque activité. Nous avons des activités sur la radio, nous avons des activités, nous avons commencé, nous avons commencé semaine là.
Il mentionnait une des activités pour moi, moun qui en l'âge.
Samedi qui va venir, nous avons commencé Portsmouth. Côté nous avons une activité, nous avons créé sip and paint. Côté nous avons fait ce que nous venir assises et puis boire un juice, boire un divin si vous voulez, un jus de raisin et puis pour peinturer, nous avons des gens pour peinturer les affaires et des comme ça. So ça c'est nous avons commencé ça c'est pour les gens qui Portsmouth, tout grand monde qui est l'âge qui Portsmouth, venez jouer ça en l'après-midi et faire ça. Et puis laisse ça finir les 8 septembre. Nous avons créé ça Grandparents Day. Ça c'est jour grand-maman. Si nous voulons tout le monde en pays à jour maman dimanche là pour aller à la messe. Si vous êtes en samedi adventiste, vous allez les samedis avant aller à la messe et puis on est juste là pour on est tout grand maman et puis vous allez faire ça et juste là l'on va faire ça on est pour mettre un bagage jaune, pas jaune, orange.
Jazz Limited, un business qui a vendu livre en ville Roseau, par Trust Fund Éducation $20,000 hier. Jazz a supporté l'éducation pour 40 années depuis 2015. Mouché Jazz, le manager Jazz, ça c'est Mouché John Lewis, fait donation salaire. Ministère pour l'éducation, Honorable Octavia Alfred, remercie Jazz pour contribution. Trust Fund là, c'est un trust fund dont l'argent pour vendre légion l'école secondaire. Légion famille passe à Alford pour voir l'école. Le ministre de la Santé, Honorable Castanet Laville, dit qu'il est important pour l'homme 40 ans pour un test bonnet pour cancer prostate. Cancer prostate, c'est un problème en glande nom pour les bladayo. Il est important pour l'homme screen. Mois septembre, c'est mois cancer prostate. Il y a une information à sur radio et puis télévision. Ministre Santé, car au moins de nommes 40 ans, aller à l'hôpital, car Dieu aussi pour aller à l'hôpital pour un test. Le gouvernement a fait tout bien possible pour protéger la vie de Dominique. Précaution, mais qui division, pour nous vent, avant nous vent, pour ça, c'est tout à ce nouvel en Creole. Changez-nous en saison cyclone est important pour continuer à faire préparation bonnet et faire aujourd'hui. Non, monsieur Geno Jacob, au revoir.
Thank you, Geno. And now for today's weather advisory. Moisture and instability trailing the passage of a westward moving tropical wave are expected to continue affecting the area today. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms are possible. Slight to moderate seas can be expected in open water, with waves expected to peak near 7 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to continue to exercise caution. And today's hurricane tip: prepare by building an emergency kit and making a family communications plan. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.